And then we've got him saying that we should nuke hurricanes and that Puerto Rico has its own president and that there were airports in this revolutionary war and that, I don't know, there was a hurricane that was the wettest from the standpoint of water. I don't know. I can go on for days.
Okay. Well, Biden beat Medicaid.
Nice.
Yeah,
Trump called Biden a bad Palestinian.
How many things did Biden misquote? Trump said and tried to turn
What's
him around.
sad is we can talk about Biden and Trump all day. We got to choose between Kamala and Trump. So you guys chose the historically the oldest president I think we've ever had. And then the guy who says the most egregious things like Hannibal Lecter, the late great Hannibal Lecter. The late great Hannibal Lecter endorses him, right? And Sharks and Batteries. You heard that speech? Like, you think the world respects Trump when they hear this from him?
You think the world respects Kamala?
Yeah. Yeah, we have the approval ratings from Pew Research. We have the approval ratings that show that nobody likes Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
You had so many approval ratings with Kamala that she didn't win one swing state.
Okay.
She didn't. She could. She spent how much money?
You only won by 1.7%. You only won by 1.7%. So it was very strategic. However, y'all won, I don't know. I have some questions, but it was 1.7%, dude. And she ran a 100-day campaign. Trump ran for like 3 years. He had a fucking 8-year presence on television, and he said the most outrageous shit every day, all day. Got more news coverage than anybody.
832 super chatted $5. Trump also said to build a border north of New Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, Trump. I'm pretty sure I can give you like 50-1 quotes for Trump and Biden. So for these like things, in fact, I can probably just give you 50-1 incidents for anything you have on Biden, racism, economic policy, anything, any grievance anybody's ever had about Biden. I can give you about 50 for Trump in the same arena.
Okay, then explain to me why Kamala in their first debate with Joe, when she was gunning to be president, she called Joe a racist.
She actually said, Joe, I'm not saying you're racist. That's what she said, actually. That's a direct quote.
No, she called him a racist.
No, she said, Joe, I'm not calling you racist, but, and I'll pull it up right now. What they disagreed on was busing children to, from their communities to different schools. And that's what Biden did not agree with. Biden was for integration, and he didn't believe in the busing situation because what it was doing is just shipping kids, random kids, into a sea and an ocean of white people to go to school.
Okay, but if he didn't believe in busing them and he was so transparent, I mean, can I ask you, why did he fly him in the middle of the night and let nobody know what he was doing?
It's all public record. What do you mean? Some countries, like
really?
When it's nighttime here, it's when it's nighttime here, it's daytime in those countries, and so on and so forth. You know how that works?
I know how that works. Trust me, I get that. But okay, if he's saying the border's secure, nobody's coming over here, and then he's flying in hundreds of them overnight to land in a
those are legal migrants getting under TPS, like people from Haiti. So we had an app. It was called CBP1, and instead of having to like fax us or send us a post-it note with a pigeon, you just used an app, and you just applied, and we ran a background check. We ran a background check on every single person that applied on CBP1. That was the protocol. That was why we did it.
So you could run a background check on a fictitious name on a person with a made-up birth date.
Yeah, if you applied with a fictitious name, you wouldn't probably get approved.
Yeah, that's
why you had to apply.
I mean, how many scenes did we see on the news where, they would look right before the border walls and see everybody's, IDs and cards and everything else, just strewn up among the ground, all over the ground, in the dirt, in the bushes.
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but that's not new, and yeah, that's a way to avoid getting a felony if you've already been caught coming across and you get caught again. That's a felony. That's why they do that. Uh, Dude, I don't know
So
what
that
you
means
want
they
us
would
to
be
do.
coming in. So that means they would be coming in with a different name then, correct?
Sure, sure,
Because I mean, we're
but
background
we
checking.
have
Obviously, if
fingerprints,
they if
bud.
they've been here, hang on. If they've been here before, just as you said, and they committed something, they did something wrong, and were expelled, and
And
they
we
came
fingerprint them.
back under a
hmm
fictitious name. How did we background check those
We
people?
fingerprinted them.
Oh, so that told us what, that they have the right to be here because they were felons and we kicked them out the first time.
No, that would tell us that they were felons and we've already kicked them out, and then we'd kick them out again. And Biden had a very high rate of kicking people out at the border, and you guys never even checked it. You guys never even
Dude.
looked. You guys don't even know. The border was
Yeah.
wide open if you ask any MAGA because they're brainwashed. You guys have no idea that Biden had a higher rate of deportations than Trump.
Yeah, I don't think so. Where's your statistic on that? Where's your statistic on how many he expelled from this country?
Here. New data shows migrants were more likely to be released by Trump than Biden. By the way, he's still perpetuating catch and release as of today. He is still doing catch and release, even though he cried about it and told you all how bad it was, and you guys got so furious about it. And you thought, what's his name, Mayorkas or whatever his name was, so bad. Here's Biden's expel rate. It's 50% out of 5 million. Even with a higher rate, Biden was more stringent with the same amount of troops. Trump, 47%.
So 47% with fewer people coming across.
Mm-hmm.
Average day, what was it per day with Biden?
You can't control how many people come to the border, right? You can only control enforcing the border.
You can't, if it's wide.
I'm sorry?
No, I said if it's wide, you can't control. If it's wide open,
What about 50%? Don't you understand? That's not wide open.
That was wide open, sir. Like I said, I don't
50%
know where you
removal
saw
rate
it
is not
from.
wide open. Right? If you get caught, there's a 50% chance you get removed because you weren't supposed to be here. In fact, 50% just means 50% of the people who were caught and encountered by Border Patrol were allowed in. So, like, a lot of people came here to work. A lot of people came here to tour. So you just, like, pretty much are saying you were sitting here wherever you live and you saw a bunch of brown people and you just imagine they were all undocumented because maybe the way they looked. Did you ask them their status?
I have no business asking them their status.
So they just for sure were undocumented because of the way they looked?
No, I never said that.
Oh, then what are you saying? You said you see a bunch of undocumented people crossing the border.
I said I could see, you could see it every night in the news. The whole time they were telling us, "Hey, it's
Have you ever heard of
it's
propaganda?
closed, it's secure." CNN's real good with propaganda that would help the Republican Party, huh?
No, I even sat there.
MSNBC, they do real great with propaganda for the Republican Party.
I was actually with my mom in a nursing home visiting my grandma. My poor grandma watches Fox News too, and bless her heart. But we both watched. It was the day that Title 42 was reversed, and there was a 50% decline in border encounters at the border, and my mom was so mad. She screamed, "Liar!" when Fox News said this, and I go, "Mom, this is Fox." And you guys are so upset every time we bring up the fact that Biden dropped border encounters by 75% in 1 year from 2023 to 2024. You guys get real upset. Going from that, from like 10K
and that
a
was only
day.
in, hang on. What was it? What was it the prior years?